Biafrans have the right to defend themselves, and they have the right to have their own country. And he equally believed that Nigeria is supposed to be broken into pieces. A Yoruba man is making a case openly in one of the networks in Nigeria. You can imagine the words that the Yoruba man is speaking, that some of us who are Biafran, who claim to be Biafrans, cannot speak the manner he speaks, with the boldness he's speaking. We can't even dare. So many of us who claim to be elite, some of them will go and tell you, oh, they fought civil war. He didn't see the war. And because he didn't see the war, you must remain in slavery. Because he didn't see the war, you must allow the slavery and enslavement to continue. So many of them who are Biafrans, the only excuse they will give you that, oh, you didn't see the war. Why? You are talking about the war. You didn't see the war. If you see, and I tell you, we have seen all of that. We have seen all of. Is it not throwing on bomb? It has been done. Is it not seeing cops everywhere? Is it hunger? Look at the Yoruba man speaking. I want us to listen to him in full.
Did the Igbos miscalculate at some point in the history of Nigeria?
No. Well, as far as the war was concerned, it wasn't miscalculation. The war was not necessary. They shouldn't have gone to war. But they were provoked. Igbos had no choice but to go to the war. They had no choice other than to fight to defend it, to defend humanity. I supported Ojukwu 1,000%. They were pushed to the wall. They had to fight. They had to create their own country by fire, by force.
Do you think there should be Biafra?
Of course. Of course. Of course. Why did I go and visit my Zegu's mother? Why did I go to the east for my honeymoon? Why did I go to Lagos or go to somewhere else to do my honeymoon after marriage?
You went to the house of Chinua Achebe?
I went to Chinua Achebe in Nsukka University. I spent a night there. I went to Mazi, the author, what's his name now? It was president of youth movement. He lived somewhere close to Enugu. You know, I went to see him. I spent a night there.
Will Biafra come?
It will come. I mean, Nigeria is going to break up. Nobody can do anything about it. Nobody.
Why are you so?
Did you hear that? This is a Yoruba man saying it in black and white. The question was direct. Will Nigeria break up? They asked him, will Biafra come? You see the confidence in that Yoruba man, the way he answered it without hesitation. The question was, will Biafra come? He said, it will, it must. Nigeria will definitely break up. It doesn't matter how long, because I'm telling you that there are some people that are very sincere. You can find them in Yoruba, you can find them in Igbo, there are some people who are sincere, but there are people that are devilish. You can imagine Tola Adeniyi, a Yoruba man, speaking. The direct question, will Biafra come? He said, it will, definitely it must. But do you know that some of us Biafra don't even believe that Biafra will come? Some of us Biafra doesn't even believe that Biafra is possible. We don't believe that Biafra is possible. It's just in our mouth. Some of us will just come with our mouth. We talk, hey, oh, hey, Biafra. Oh, we have declared Biafra. Biafra have been declared this, that. But deep down in our heart, we don't even believe it. We don't believe it. We can't even defend it in public. This is a Yoruba man that is facing an interview. And you can hear his response. When he was asked, will Biafra come? He didn't hesitate. He answered it once and for all. Direct. The same way he was asked, he answered without hesitation.
Will Biafra come?
It will come. I mean, Nigeria is going to break up. Nobody can do anything about it. Nobody.
Why are you so?
Did you hear it? Will Biafra come? He said, it will come. Nigeria will break up. No matter what you do, it will break up. It's just a question of time. It will break up. He didn't hesitate. He didn't say, oh, it might come. If you do this, or if you do that, it will come. Or maybe this. He did not even make any option. Or he didn't begin to beat about the bush. He responded instantly that it will come. But unfortunately, some of us Biafra don't even believe it.
Nobody can do anything about it. Nobody.
Why are you so certain about it?
Because I know it will happen. No country operated the way.
Come?
It will come. I mean, Nigeria is going to break up. Nobody can do anything about it.
Will Biafra come?
It will come. I mean, Nigeria is going to break up. Nobody can do anything about it. Nobody.
Will Biafra come?
It will come. I mean, Nigeria is going to break up. Nobody can do anything about it. Nobody.
Why are you so certain about it?
Because I know it will happen. No country operated the way Nigeria has been operated can survive. It's not possible.
They're lying to themselves. They say they can survive.
All the rogues who are running the country down, who are doing all sorts of things they are doing now, will pass away. They will not be there forever.
Did you hear that? The message is clear. He said it will break up. Biafra will come. Whether you like it or whether you don't like it or, it's going to come. You can imagine a man from Oduduwa land speaking with so much confidence that Biafra will come. But unfortunately, those of us who are the Biafrans ask us if we believe that Biafra will come. So many of us will begin to give you reasons why it will not come. They will tell you unless you do this or do that. They will tell you if this or that happen. They will tell you if fowl grow teeth. Look at somebody that was asked. He didn't miss what he answered the question without even hesitation, without wasting time. He answered it. But those of us who we are meant to do what we have to do, we believe that it will come. We don't. Let us hear this message from Dele Farotimi also.
Principalities and powers, and they are being told from behind the pulpit by persons who are complicit in the evil that has overtaken the country to pray for their leaders. And then after the empty homilies, you tell the people that it is well. Yorubas will say that the priest must not speak evil. But what if the priest beholds evil constantly? Why should he not speak? How do you stand behind the pulpit and rail against Satan and his agents and you have nothing to say about the ruiners of Nigeria? How is it well if men labor from morning till night and they can't even feed like humans? How is it well when people's homes are perpetually underwater? How is it well when the state that should be the one bridging gaps is the one promoting disunity? How is it well when the very future of our children are being stolen in our very before? How sustainable is the future that you are building for your children? Some people covet our country. They want it for themselves.
You can hear it. This is why we are doing what we are doing. All is not well. They continue to pretend all is well. Their reverend fathers and the reverend pastors in their churches are preaching and saying it is well. It is well. Even in the midst of death, they are saying it is well. It's going to be well. We know that it's not going to be well. And that is why we are taking the bull by the horn. We have preferred solution. The only remedy to the situation of the Zoological Republic is Biafra. Biafra remains the only remedy. Biafra remains the only remedy to save the zoo. And the earlier people key into it, understand it, believe it and follow it, the better for all of us. If you continue to pretend that you are not seeing it, you continue to pretend that it is well, oh, it's going to be good. After election, you have a new government. Oh, this person is going to change this. You are deceiving yourself. You are only dragging yourself into more bigger problem. Because you're lying to yourself. You know that no new government will be better than the old in Nigeria. It will never happen. You can never see a new government that is better than the past. It has never happened from independence to date. Go and check all the governments that Nigeria have produced from independence to date. The new one are always worse than the previous one. The new one are always worse. That whenever there is a new government, people will be praying to go back to where they started from. Anytime there's a new government, people will be praying to take us back to where you brought us from. Take us back to where you brought us from. Take us back to where, and it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. It is going to get worse and worse. if they tell you that people will be asking to go back to the place where Buhari left them, will you believe that? A clueless man like Buhari that stole as much as possible, destroyed the Zoological Republic, today they are wishing that they go back to where that idiot left them. That is how bad it is. And tomorrow, bring another Messiah. Your own Messiah. Bring your so-acclaimed Messiah tomorrow and put. After 1 year, you'll be begging to go back to where he brought you from. After 1 year, you'll be begging to go back to where he brought you from. Just like they have lined up themselves today for their selfish interest. Some are telling you they're going to be there for 1 tenor. Some are telling you they're going to be there for 2 minutes. Some are telling you they just allow them to be there. And when you hear the way they speak, you know they are not going there to do anything. They are not going there to do anything. They're only going there to create chaos. They are only going there to cement the enslavement of the people. They are only going there to make sure that the British continue to have an upper hand in the affairs of the people. That is the only reason they are going there. When you see them shouting, they want to do the contest, they are not doing it for you. It is for their own personal and selfish interests. And the earlier you understand this, the better for you and I. Nobody will fight this battle for you. It is the intent, O Israel. And we must fight until we win. No matter what the enemies say, no matter what they do, we must continue to air our opinion. We must continue to speak, because the atrocities of the Zoological Republic will never go unnoticed. The atrocities of Nigerian government against the Biafrans will never go unnoticed, and we will continue to talk about it. We will continue to speak about it. We will continue to make our voice heard. In as much as we know that nobody's going to come to our aid, nobody's going to fight on our behalf. It is our battle, and we will fight it by ourselves. So every one of us have to rise up wherever you are. Do not allow yourself to be bought over. We must stop celebrating idiocy. We must stop celebrating nonsense and focus on the liberation of the people. I pray that every one of us will wake up and do what we're supposed to do. Let us hear this message of our Supreme Leaders in Nandekano before we round up the program, so that people can go.
419 these days, I look at you and I laugh at you. In the time of the ancients, once there is, a whiff of a word that this family that they give birth to thieves, believe you me, all of that name, that lineage, you will die a natural death, because nobody will agree to marry into that family, and nobody will come there to take their daughters. That's how we are as a people. An ex-419, a murderer and a killer, was installed in Imo State, and he had the temerity. Nobody told him about what has gone before, that you don't come outside to challenge the will of God. Everything IPOB does is the will of God Almighty in heaven. That is why we pray the way we do. That is why we comport ourselves the way we do. That is why we are whiter than white and whiter than snow. That is why we are without blemish, insofar as the restoration of Biafra is concerned. Without blemish, I'm telling you. That is why everything I say comes to pass. That is why everything that IPOB touches turns into gold. That is why we are unstoppable. That is why, despite the fact that politicians do not support us, despite the fact that all the so-called money bags do not support us, today we are the largest, most potent mass movement anywhere on earth. We are formidable. IPOB. IPOB is a spirit. When you provoke us, we turn into monsters. But in the main, we are peace-loving people. because we are the children of God Almighty in heaven. Without God, how can we be where we are today? I ask you. With nothing. That today we give a command and the whole world stands still. Do you think it is us that is doing it? It is God Almighty in heaven, using us as instruments to make the manifestation of his will upon the lives of his children a reality in their time. That's exactly what we are doing. IPOB is a monster, I'm telling you. I commend all of you. All of you, I commend each and every one of you. Each and every one of you. We are doing that which is right before God Almighty in heaven and the sons of men on this very earth. There was the only people that actually did something decent. The decent coverage was by Vanguard newspaper. I think it's one correspondent who wrote it. It's called, what's his name again? I think a lot of them put this very piece together. Very many of them. I think Vincent Ujumadu, Festus Ahon, Chidi Nwokpara, Chinonsa Lozio, Gochuku, Steve Oko is there, Ikechukwu, Odu Chinedu, Adon, all of them, Chimobi Wiwu, Wabwezi Okonkwo, they went out onto the streets to ask questions. Because in the morning of this very this historic lockdown, not sit at home, lockdown of Biafra land yesterday, they sought permission to say, please, if we move about to, we said to them, as long as you're a journalist, nothing's going to happen to you. Go and ask questions. And they did. They did. Let me give you a few headlines as to what Biafrans did yesterday. The zoo is still in a shock. That was why some people hurriedly were putting their propaganda together. For ESN operatives killed, arms recovered, all these idiots. Even some fools used the name of Officer Kintoye to be writing rubbish, thinking I will respond to it. I know that's what Tinubu is doing. Is Tinubu, that's the way they operate. They think they can use the media to hoodwink and bamboozle all of us. They don't know this. We are in a media age, and this generation is very, very savvy. They can discern, they can understand, they can interpret. Socio-economic activities paralyzed in Enugu, Ebonyi, Anambra, Abia, Asaba, and Rivers. Which are you listening? You know, sometimes I wonder what Yoruba journalists gain by being mischievous and evil. There are some professions that doesn't actually suit black people. Any profession in this life that requires you to use your conscience to work for the benefit of humanity, a black person should not be occupying that position. I will enumerate later on. For the first time, Umuahia, the streets were empty. Umuahia, where I come from, is known for their stupidity and idiocy. Arguably one of the most un-Biafran and idiotic set of people on the face of this very earth. The Ibeku that I come from, very foolish. Most of you don't know that Agu Ironsi is an Ibeku man. It's from my clan. Do you know that? Do you know that the first general in the history of Nigeria, if not the whole of Africa, I mean battlefield general, not quota general, the person, the people that gave Ironsi his generalship were white people, not blacks. White. Oyibo. Ironsi was a battlefield general, not quota general. Agree. The first general, the first indigenous commander of the Nigerian army is from Ibeku, my clan, my village. Or should I say my mother's village in Duma? It's from Omwana. Ibeku. We produced the first military head of state, the first general ever, battlefield general, even general before the zoo became an independent flag, independent enclave of the British. And that Ibeku, if you ask them to sit at home, they'll be talking rubbish. That is why they were ignored. History forgot about them. It's my land, yes. History forgot about them completely. Because of their idiocy and stupidity. Umuahia is the land that produced Dr. Michael Okpara. The same way Umuahia produced Ironsi, Umuahia produced Dr. Michael Okpara. The man, according to Harvard Review, not black big newspaper or magazine, according to Harvard Review, the fastest growing economy in the world, the man that made it possible. It was Opera's miracle, economic miracle, that frightened Britain. That was why they organized the first coup, so that they can slaughter us. That man is from Omwe. The only black man in the history of the world to grow the economy of his region faster than any other economy in the world, including USA, including Britain, including Japan, everybody else. Number one in the world is from Omwe. Yet if you ask Omwe, they don't even know who they are. That's why they are foolish. But I think yesterday they came back to their senses, and I commend them. Of course, Abba is always there. Abba and Onisha, how can I forget? Abba and Onisha. I salute them immensely. And they say better late than never. Enugu did very well, and I commend them. Ebonyi, of course, was there too. Enugu did, except people were lamenting. After my program yesterday morning, people started calling and lamenting. Some were calling my lawyers and lamenting and saying, how can he say this thing about Enugu? Enugu is complying. All we want is total compliance everywhere, because Biafra doesn't belong to me. I'm only preaching the gospel that heaven asked me to preach. Biafra is your own. You are fighting for a better future for your children, away from the horrible torment of Fulani Janjaweed Caliphate. Biafra is yours. It doesn't belong to me. When we ask you to sit at home, you must comply. It's for your own good and the good of your children. Today, haven't you heard that the whole world is reverberating to the success that was recorded? We are the very best of the best. And I must commend Governor Obiano for building the cenotaph. He built it last year. I think it was last year he built it, but this year, you know, our people, you know, Biafrans, everything takes time. Everything takes time. I'm sure in the next time, whereas your brain is empty, you know nothing, absolutely nothing. Ojukwu adopted the name Biafra. As Ojukwu was giving us the name Biafra, christening us Biafra, according to the advice of Chief Frank Opigo, one idiot or somewhere called Go On is saying, I'm going to divide you. I'm going to create Cross River, and I'm going to create a Goja State, and I'm also going to create River State. True or false? I throw like you. What do you know? You go on channels and you're talking like somebody that fell from a palm tree that fell from palm tree. It's bad, huh? I throw like you guys. You claim you're a lawyer. You know nothing. Absolutely nothing. Your brain is empty. Absolutely empty. That is why a fellow man like Tambuwal useless to your backside, because you're an idiot. You're a complete fool. You know nothing. I feel sorry for those you are deceiving. Poor students. You raise in the zoo, you go to NYSC, your brain is empty, you know nothing. Absolutely nothing. You don't know your history. You don't even know the history of your own village. We should start by asking, what is the history of my village? I know where we come from. My village. I kept asking my father before he passed. I kept asking him, tell me the history of Isiama Faruku, and he told me. The soldiers are molesting people. Katrina Lang, where you're having your holiday, I hope you're listening. Channels TV, Yoruba journalists, I hope you're listening. That soldiers, Nigerian soldiers are in Aban right now molesting people. I hope you can hear it. When there is equal response now, you start writing your junk. That's why I said that a black man should not be a journalist. We lack conscience. Black people do not have conscience. That is why you give chieftaincy titles to people who are doing 419. People like Hope Uzodinma can come and become a governor of a state. In the olden days, people like him will be exiled or sold into slavery because he's a thief. 419, River State was created. And in fact, I want to direct now, Wike, you claim you're a lawyer, and also Channels TV. Somebody should also email Channels TV as many people as possible the Willink Commission report of 1958. Because I don't know, is there anything wrong with your brain cells? You people, you animals in the zoo animals calling themselves Nigerians. Is there anything, are you sure your brain is not made of sawdust? Is there something in your brain that is stopping you from reasoning? I want somebody to send this very report, the Willink Commission report, to every idiot that calls him or herself a Niger Deltan. Send it to them. Send it to them, because the idiocy is becoming too much. This foolishness can no longer be tolerated. Send it to them. Ikwere, Eche, Ekpeye, Opobo, Ibani, which is born today, Orata, you know where? Is also in Ikwere land. They say they are not, we are from Bini, near the upper of palace, near his palace. Chai. Who did this thing to you people? Who did, I can understand. I know that black people by nature are very stupid. But it seems to me there are layers of stupidity. All these Niger Delta South people, it seems your own stupidity is incomparable. I'm telling you. God forbid. Oh, no wonder the Sultan can come to Bayelsa and own over 30 oil wells. Now you understand it, don't you? No wonder. No wonder Danjuma owns, is it 15 oil wells? No wonder your land can be polluted and you can't do nothing about it. Absolutely nothing. What can you do? Nothing. You lament, you cry, and nobody listens. And they float NDDC. And their budget is maybe $1 million, and all of you are scrambling for $1 million. Whereas the Sultan of Sokoto preaching unity and one Nigeria is because of his oil wells in Bayelsa. And you're telling me you went to school. You're telling me you can reason. You are telling me you can think properly. Do you understand it? Do you understand it? Ikweleche Ekpeye, Opobo, Iban, which they call Boni, Orata, Ogba, Ndoke are all indigenous Igbo extraction in River State. It is called Rivers Igbo. I want you to go to Wikipedia now and type in River State on Wikipedia. You will see it. River State, the first bracket you see is Igbo, IGBO. People may wonder, why am I preaching this all the time? Because I grew up in the village. And in the village, you learn a lot of things. Not like in the township, where you learn nothing. You live in a yard. I grew up in the village. And there is a saying where we come from. You can only show me my relative. You cannot show me my friend, because I make my friends myself. You can't bring somebody and say, oh, come, this is your friend. No. If at all any of you have had the privilege of staying in a village, in a Biafran, typical Igbo village, Biafran village, for up to a week, let's say during festive season, what happens usually? If you can remember, if one of them listen, intellectual, listen. When you are in the village, during any festive season, how many times have you heard your mom or your father say, oh, come, come, come? They will call your name and say, come. Come and see your uncle. Come and see your aunt. Come and see your cousin. How many times? Because they are all your relatives. That's the only people they can show to you. Nobody can show you your friend, because your friends you make yourself. Now you understand me? Going back to Wike and the Ikwere people, or some not Ikwere players, I don't want to generalize. After all, it was an Ikwere chief that was coming to see me when I was in prison. The delegation of people coming to see me when I was in prison, if you go to the archives of the people coming to court, anytime I have a case, they will charter luxurious bus from Iguacha all the way to Abuja. He's an Ikwere chief. Have you all forgotten? You have all forgotten, haven't you? So I am weak, cannot make me to generalize. I'm not stupid. Who were the people that observed the sit at home, the lockdown yesterday in Rivers? I don't know Ikwere people. Yes, and I'm asking you a simple question. So I'm not going to generalize. I am not going to generalize. Now listen to me. Before independence of the zoo, basically before the 27th of May 1967, there was no identity crisis in Rivers. None whatsoever. None. I have said this thing to people many times. They don't want to listen. When I was arguing about the origin of the Igbo race, some people said they're anthropologists, they're historians, and all that rubbish. They were talking pure people. And I tried to prove to them that the Igbo race is comprised or made up of three distinct people. Three distinct, I said different people make up the Igbo race. They were talking nonsense. I said to them that the best place, because our ancestors were very clever, how you know where you come from is by the names you give your children or the names you give your towns and your villages. And they said, how did I come to that realization? I said to them, do you know that the last phase that came, the house of Ephraim and Manasseh, that came from the Harish region of Israel, the last migration that came, those that passed through Ethiopia, that went through Rwanda and all the rest of it, through Cameroon before coming down to settle, crossing the Omambala River and settling at Umwere and Aguleri. Do you know who they are? Of course, people do not know. They were the ones that gave the name. They were the people that realized that the oldest people on that land are the Igbo people. When they came to a place called Agolo, they said that this is the road that leads to the settlement of Igbo people. They named it Agolo Ozo Igbo, which means Agolo, where you pass before you go to the settlement of Igbo people. Agolo, Agolo Ozo Igbo. Ozo means the road that leads to. The same way you have Akole and Ozo Akole. Ozo Akole means this is the road you use to go to Akole. I don't know if people are paying attention. Heaven. They are the ones that said this is Agolo Zibo. This is Agolo. This Agolo settlement is the road you use to go to where Igbos are. Agolo Esiaga Ebendi Igbo. Agolo Ozo Igbo. I hope that makes sense to most of you. Now you understand. All of you fools claiming South. So, do you know that Aguleri people and Umweri can say they're not Igbo? Do you know that? Do you know that Owere people and Arotu can say they're not Igbo? Do you know that some parts of Umbise, Ohoho and Bibeku can say they're not Igbo? Are you aware of that? Because the original people who were there can be found in a place called, we know our names are very brilliant. Ibuku. Hope you understand it very clearly now. You are following what I'm saying. I go back to the Willing Commission. The reason why we keep having this debate all the time is because our people are not educated. I'm sorry to say this, but our people are not well educated. That is the problem. If you can take out only 5 minutes, anybody calling themselves Niger Delta, I'm Ikole, I'm not Igbo, I'm Anyoma, I'm not Igbo. If you can take out only 5 minutes to read the Willing Commission report, white people wrote it, not blacks, then you will understand your stupidity. It will be staring you in the face. This from Wike. According to a Willing report, white man in 1958, way before, almost 10 years before Go On created or gave you your new identity. More than I'm reading the report verbatim, white man's report, willing, because they complained. Everywhere you go, Igbo man is there. In Igbocha, everywhere. We want minority. We want to be recognized. They call themselves minority. Is that correct? When Britain was tuning them. Because Britain wanted unrestricted access to our oil and gas. And the only way to achieve it is to tell Ogoni people, yeah, you see, you are distinct, you are different. Ever since they started telling Ogoni people that they are different, have they succeeded? The answer is no. They come to Ijo. Hey, Ijo nation! Ijo, you are different, oh. Have you succeeded in getting your resource control? The answer is no. They come to the upper land of Igbo, which is from across Imo River. Not minding there's a place called Obibo. They tell you, oh, they hate you. This South, Nigeria, they hate you. Look for one Igbo nation only. Don't mind them. And some intellectuals and the Fulefus will buy into it. They want to divide you to weaken you. You have forgotten that Ahoda people are Igbo people. Boni people are Igbo people. I want to challenge all of you now. You know, during the burning of the house of that straight or that saboteur called, do you know who was who go on appointed Dieter Spiff? the one that just chased away from his palace now as the governor of River State. Are you aware of that? No, you don't know, but I'm telling you now. That man they pursued a few days ago from his palace. He's called Alfred Dieter Spiff, if I'm not mistaken. He was the saboteur that Gowon used to administer River State, to spite Ojukwu, understand? So they created natural saboteurs. You see this man you call, what's his name, Edwin Clark. Do you know why I hate him? He's a father, he's an elderly man. I should be respecting him, is that not correct? According to our culture. Do you know why I hate him with a passion? He was a saboteur. They made him Minister of Information. That's how they roll. Janjaweed and their British masters, they gave them political positions. They now went back to go and convince their own people that Biafra is a bad thing for them to be part of.
You're welcome, Bro Greg. Thank you for joining. Go ahead and speak to us as we try to conclude. Go ahead and speak to us, my brother Greg, if you're there.
Yes, thank you, Maz. Good afternoon. Thank you for your good work. Today is like everybody is on the move.
Yeah.
No rest. Yes, thank you for your good job, and I appreciate all your